Hi. So how are you sleeping these days? Hi, my name's Christine Conroy. Welcome to Happy Stuff and Fluff, a channel for women over 50 who are getting happy and growing younger. We're talking about sleep today because, as I've said before, if you want to optimise your health and generally feel good and able to deal with all of the things that life throws at us over 50, you need to get a decent night's sleep. Now, if you remember, I did a video on sleep where I gave quite a few tips actually, so I'll leave the link to that here. But since then, I've done one or two things. I've added a couple of things to help me to sleep, and I wanted to tell you about it. Now, the first one kind of happened by accident almost, because when we were talking about skincare in one of the videos, we talked about the fact that you need to try to sleep on your back. And I tried and tried, because it's not just good for your skin, because obviously if you're sleeping like this all the time and your skin is constantly being screwed up like this, you're going to get wrinkles. So I use a silk pillow. I hope you do now. But I did want to try to sleep on my back because it has all kinds of other health benefits too. But I just couldn't do it. And then I noticed, I think it was Angie from Hot and Flashy, who talked about using a wedge pillow. And so I bought one. I'll show you the one I've got here. Now, as you can see, this is like a triangular shape like this, and you're meant to sleep on it with your head here and your body coming down like that. So it serves as a pillow that helps you to sleep like that on your back, which obviously keeps your chest nice and open, your head up like this, and you don't get these squashed up face syndrome. And I tried it, and I was persistent. I kept trying it, but it just wasn't comfortable. So I was pushing it away and doing this, and I pushed it down the bed, and almost by accident I slept with the high end of the wedge under my knees. I thought, gosh, that feels really comfortable. And so the following night I actually put the wedge with the highest part under the back of my knees and my legs coming over the top like that. I had one of the best night's sleep I've had in a long time. And for the most part, I slept on my back. And so, since then, I've been using the wedge pillow in that way, with the highest part under the back of my knees, like this, so that my legs come down. Now, I've talked to other people since then, and people use them in all kinds of ways, not just as a pillow like this, but for tipped up the other way so that you can sit upright to read a book if you read before you go to bed. There's lots of different ways you can use one. So if you do get one, and they're not expensive, and they have a zip-off cover that you can machine washable, which is great, and experiment with it and see if it helps you to get more comfortable during the night to help to give you a good night's sleep. So that's the first thing that I've been doing. Now, the other thing is I've been taking a supplement, and really this kind of came about by accident. Now, I have to say, before I tell you about this, I am not suggesting that you do the same as me in this respect. I'm telling you this is what I do. Because it is a supplement, I have to say, do your own research on it. This is my story of how I'm using it and what it's doing for me. You may have already experienced it. I'm taking melatonin. Now, this happened because we've been, as you know, we have, my daughter Charlotte is suffering from cancer. Now, I'm going to do an update, but I'm going to do it at the end of this video so that those of you who don't want to hear about that can just hear about the sleep tips and then leave. But I will give you a quick update on Charlotte at the end of the video. But we've been consulting people about diet and about her diet and how to help her through the chemotherapy, for example. And I know there are a few of you who either are going through this yourselves or know someone who is. Again, please consult your caregiver, your team, before you start to take anything extra to whatever they happen to be giving you. But we've been consulting a biochemist, not least about Charlotte's diet and how we can help with that. And melatonin came up, and I'll come back to the cancer link in a second. But what melatonin has done for me is given me a great night's sleep. Now, in this video here, I talked about the fact that I'd started to sleep in a totally darkened room, which increases melatonin production in your body because it is a natural hormone, and the darkness helps to increase production of it. Because what it is, it works together with your circadian rhythms. Now, all your circadian rhythm is your body's internal clock that lets you know when it's time to sleep, to wake, to eat, and so on. And so melatonin works together with that. It helps to regulate your body temperature, your blood pressure, and your hormone levels. Now, if you are low in melatonin, then obviously that's going to disrupt your sleep. Now, you can be low in production of melatonin for all kinds of things, stress being a major one, which I think is probably what's disturbing my sleep at the moment. But it could be anything. It could be that you have screens, blue light, I talked about that, all kinds of things. Have a look at this video here that will tell you about things that disrupt your sleep. But they also disrupt the production of your normal melatonin levels. And so I started to take 5 milligrams of melatonin 30 minutes before I go to bed. And it has really helped me. Now, the studies, and there are lots of studies about it, but I must just let me mention this. First of all, do not take it if you take a blood thinner of any kind, because it might interact with those. Any blood pressure medications, if you're on antidepressants, if you know someone who's pregnant, don't suggest they take it, or breastfeeding, or if you have an autoimmune disorder. Basically, if you've got anything wrong in that respect, then speak to your caregivers first before you take this. But current evidence suggests that melatonin supplements are safe, non-toxic, and not addictive. So better for you than taking a sleeping tablet, let's put it that way. Now, it is a natural substance, a naturally occurring substance in your body, and at the right temperature, it does all kinds of things because it's a very powerful antioxidant. So it doesn't just help to, help with your sleep. It also has lots of other benefits, including promoting eye health, helping with stomach ulcers, helping with heartburn. There's all kinds of things. If you want to do your own research on it, you'll see all the benefits, a lot of them proven, for taking melatonin. And of course, sleep regulation is one of them. It isn't going to act like a sleeping tablet and send you to sleep. What it does is it helps you to relax, if you like, before you go to sleep, and it helps you to get a better quality of sleep once you are asleep. That's assuming that you're not doing things like drinking alcohol before you go to bed and all of the things that I mentioned in the other videos. It really is worth researching to see if it's going to help you. It's helping me. Now, the other very interesting thing is a meta-study of melatonin and cancer shows that the hormone is not only reducing the side effects of chemotherapy, but also might be effective in eliminating cancer cells. This is where my interest was piqued to begin with. Now, the problem is that because melatonin is a natural substance, then it can't be patented, which means it's cheap to buy, and therefore there is little earning potential for the big pharmaceutical companies, and so not much money around to do further research. There has been research done, incredible research done, but not an awful lot. Not enough for it to be approved by, for example, the medical profession. So if you go to talk to your medic and say you want to start taking melatonin, then he's going to say there isn't enough evidence to prove that it works. There isn't going to be, because nobody's putting any money into the research of it. And so why I decided to take it was the fact that the studies show it's non-toxic, you can't overdose on it, and the results of studies that have been done about helping sleep, there's lots of them, have a look at it. So I decided to take it, and it's helping me. So that's two things: the wedge, try the wedge, and have a look at melatonin, at the research, and obviously make your own decisions. Start taking the lowest amount possible and see if that works, and if it does, you don't need to increase the dose. Please let me know if you have used melatonin, what effect it had for you, and let me know if you start to use it, if it helps. Obviously, if you do have cancer, or you know someone who has cancer and you're going to suggest this, the research is there. Take it to your medic and show, or your teams, and show them the research. If they say we'd rather you didn't take it, which I guess they could do. Charlotte is taking it, and she needs a higher dose. She's struggling at the moment. I'll give you the update. We've actually come through Charlotte's first stage of treatment, and so she's in what's called first stage remission. So she's had 6 cycles of chemotherapy, and I have to say, towards the end of that, because chemotherapy has an accumulative effect, she's really struggled with all kinds of things. But she's through that now, and the next step is for her to have a stem cell transplant, and that's our next big meeting, how we're going to go about that, what that's going to involve, and what we need to do about it. But at the moment, as I say, she's not having chemotherapy, and to all intents and purposes, she doesn't have cancer because she's in this, what they call first stage remission. So I'll let you know when we know what's happening and how she's getting on with that. Lots of you still sending me emails with best wishes, and I really, really do appreciate it. I can't tell you how much. So please keep your positive vibes coming. We still need them, and thank you for your interest. It really warms the heart. Okay, so please, in the comments box below, you need to talk to me. Oh, you also need, if you like the video, to give it a thumbs up. Not just to let me know that you've liked the video, but the more likes it gets, the more chances are that more people will see the video. Who knew? So that would really help if you did that too. And I'll speak to you next time. And until then, remember that on the Happy Stuff and Fluff, we are getting happy and growing younger. See you soon.